Good morning, top fan followers. It is your big homie, Big Dave, coming to you live and direct. That's right, from the city of Oranges. Well, I guess not the city of Oranges. That's somewhere in Florida, but the city of the juice box, Houston, Texas, home of the two-time World Series champion Houston Astros. That, of course, is my boy Baseball Bill, the peanut butter to my jelly, the butter to the toast, dare I say, Robin to the fat man. Bill, how are you doing? What's going on, man?
Your Apollo Creed to your Rocky. I mean, like the Doc Brown to your Marty. I mean, it's going great, Dave.
Yeah,
I love the
what's
intro.
up, Bert? I mean, you are the Bert, I am the Ernie. This is what it is. Okay. So, hey,
Robin
Bert.
to my fat
Hey,
man.
what's going on there in SoCal, man? Looks like you're in the office actually today.
I am. I am.
Got
Thank you.
got the
It's
business hat on today. I see you. I see you. All
yeah, man. We got.
coordinated. The Blues match well. You're looking good. You're looking good. Must be a big meeting. Must be a big meeting.
I'm trying, man. I heard you were coming in, and we were going to talk money and everything like that. So I'm just waiting for you to knock on the door.
Hey, well, you
Oh
know
wait,
what,
that's
man?
basketball.
Just yeah,
My bad.
you know how we do things where I'm from. I write a number on a napkin, I slide it over. You write something else on the napkin, you slide it back. We have a couple of sparkling grape juices and a payday bar, and we hash it out.
Much love to you, Dave. We got a great show today. I mean, you have planned a freaking amazing show. So let's
Man,
get up
look
on
here.
it.
This is can of corn. You know what I'm saying? This is where you get your daily dose of nutritional baseball value. Okay. Fortified with any breakfast. Okay. The most important meal of the day, of course, is breakfast. This is where you get your tidbits of baseball knowledge to help you win the conversation at the coffee pot or the water cooler. Bill, it, of course, at time of recording is early September, September 3rd, if we want to be exact, which means one thing. This is the home stretch.
I'm
We
stretch.
kind of know who is where. There are a couple of races left. How have the Dodgers done here recently? And more importantly, what do you see for them going into this last month?
They did great. They had a great weekend in Arizona. I had told your co-host on The Odd Couple, Mikey Bleeds Blue, and several others. I was looking for the Dodgers to go in and take 2 out of 4, just split, because at the end of the day, the Dodgers would be up 4 on the Diamondbacks, and you'd have 4 games clicked off the schedule. I will tell you that they won 3 out of 4. They are looking very, very good. Doing a lot of running. Obviously, Shohei is heading towards 50-50. Looking forward to that and seeing how that plays itself out. And a lot of interesting and good things happening. So I'm actually impressed with what the Dodgers are doing. At time of recording, they're 6 up on the Diamondbacks, 5 up on the um, Padres, who oddly enough, like your Astros, started a series against Detroit on Monday and have Tuesday off, and then finish the series Wednesday, Thursday. It makes no sense. So
Let's make you work on Labor Day and then give you the day after it off. Like, I don't get it. Major League Baseball scheduling department, you need to be taken outside and beat with a rubber hose. Just saying.
hit your boy, your big homie up, Dave, and he'll help you with the schedule.
Hey, yeah, all I need to know is whose car we taking. All right. We can go see Mr. Manfred. I got a couple of words for him anyway.
And I'm sure you do. I'm sure you do. So yeah, so that's good. What? Tell me about the Astros. Where are the
Man,
Astros at?
look here. And I I don't mean to just toot my own horn, but toot toot. I've been calling it since day one. Back in early May, people were calling for a spot as head, and oh, the Astros are done for, and the defending chumps. I mean, defending champs are off to a fiery start, and oh, it's the Mariners' year. And what did I say back then? What did I say? Roll the tape back. All right, we're gonna cut right here, do some editing, roll it back. Big Dave called it and said the Astros will win the division. The Rangers will fade to oblivion, back to the depths of which they came, and the Mariners will mariner. And here we are with a month to go, just under a month. The Astros have a, I won't say comfortable, But if you'd have told me in June that we'd have a 6-game lead going into the last month, I might not have took that bet. Even though Tiny Man I'd have taken that bet. All right. But winners of their last 6 of 10, more importantly, the teams that we have come off of one of the toughest portions of our schedule, especially being late. We had games on the road in Baltimore and Philadelphia, and we went in there and won both series. Okay. Then we come home and sweep a very good Royals team. Okay. Bobby Witt was pretty much unseen. He did, I think, have a jack, maybe 2 in the series, but our pitching staff right now, Mom Spaghetti, and don't call me Kate Upton, uh, uh, Hunter Brown, okay, the JV junior. This guy has been. I've been drinking the Hunter Brown Kool-Aid for a long time, and I think we finally got the sugar just right. Okay, I mean we've had like 4 no-hit bids in the last week. I think going in over 7 innings.
Mhm.
More importantly, in those games early on, we would have games like that where we would lose a run or 2-run lead late in the game, 7th, 8th, ninth inning. The Astros are still doing that. The bullpen is a little tired. That is one concern that I have going forward, but we're finding ways to win those games. You know what I'm saying? Walk-off hits by, Mr. Walk-off himself. No, it's not a buzzer. And I'm 6'7" standing on 2 trophies. Jose Altuve, the best Astro of all time. Vizio fans, don't at me. Just go Google the numbers. But yeah, no, the Astros are red hot. And I think once again, they are that team that nobody wants to face in the playoffs. Um, so we had this funky schedule in Seattle. We dropped the first game of the series to the Reds, but no worries. That was a stretch where we had played, I don't know, 10, 11 straight games, something like that. So I don't, like I said, I don't get it, but we've got the Reds, we've got the D-backs. Hopefully we can help y'all out. We get the last series with the Oakland Athletics in our history of the franchise. Then we get the Padres as well. Maybe we can help out again. And then we close out with the Angels. And probably the most important last 2 series of the year are going to be the last 2. It's 3 at home with the Mariners, followed up by 3 on the road against the Guardians. Those 3 Guardians games could very well be fighting for a first round bye.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah, no, you nailed that. They could be fighting for a first round bye, which is
yeah,
that
as
scary.
crazy as you sound, as hot as everybody started, Bill, do you think anybody's going to get? We know nobody's probably going to get to 100 wins unless they just go on a tremendous tear right now. I mean, you got to really. I mean, who's close here? Let's see.
Dodgers, if they go 17-7, they can get to 100.
Okay, well, other than that, it's going to be hard to win 95 games. I think this season for a lot of teams. Um, you know,
Yeah,
but yeah, no. More importantly, what are we at? Are you 8 home runs away from getting drenched? What's the update on the little
I'm
wager,
8
the
home
water
runs.
bet?
I'm actually 8 home runs away from getting drenched. That's correct.
8 home runs from getting drenched, which would we're 60, right?
Yeah,
You're the
yeah.
man. You're the numbers guy, right? Okay, so 9 away from 60. Ladies and gentlemen, if you've never rooted against Aaron Judge in your life and you hate the Astros, you might want to, because the last 2 times that he hit 60 home runs in a season, the same thing has happened at the last out, and that was that the Astros had won a championship. So are the stars aligning? Are the planets aligned? Is that Thanos? The Astros are inevitable. I'm telling you. So stay tuned. It should get really good. But like I said, those races coming down to the end, there is some mighty, mighty things that could happen in the wild card race. Bill, give me your thoughts on who's in, who's on the bubble, and who would you not want to pick out of? I mean, who would you not want to play out of the wild card teams?
Okay, so I'm gonna start with your league. Okay, I'm gonna start with the American League. If I'm looking at the American League right now, I'm saying that either Baltimore or the Yankees are a lock. Baltimore is +5.5, starting, the Yankees, depending on how that plays itself out. Uh, and then you've got Minnesota and you've got Kansas City. Boston is currently losing to the Mets at time of recording. And if the Boston Red Sox lose to the Mets, they'll fall to 5 back. So it's going to be real simple. It's going to be either the Yankees or the Orioles that will get the top seed. It'll probably be Minnesota and Kansas City. Now, Boston's lost 3 in a row. Kansas City's lost 6 in a row. They need to change course, and Boston could lose tonight. Detroit is 7-3 in their last 10 games. Um, and so Detroit has a schedule that is relatively favorable to making that happen. But I think we've already got this all set up. I think that it's Baltimore, Minnesota, and Kansas City. Dave, what do you think about the American League before I go on to the National League?
I'm kind of right there with you. I think who takes the East is probably going to take the number one seed. Um, the Astros are in third right now with 75 wins, chasing Cleveland with 79. So it's possible. The Astros have been playing hot, so we could get in there, which would definitely shake up the wild card race. But I'm kind of with you though. So we know who doesn't make it in the East is going to take that number one wild card position.
Correct.
Um, I think the Twinkies have been playing phenomenal. They are a playoff tested team. They've done it. They've been there. They've been in the dance a little bit. They have a great staff, great coaching staff. The Royals are the team that you know what? I don't know. I kept hearing about this Royals team, and maybe the Astros are just clicking on all cylinders, but they did not look to me like a team that was going raging into the playoff race, like that kind of lethargic play could be cancerous going into, and I hate to use that term, but it could be just detrimental, if you're not firing off, if you're not, it's the repetition, it's the turn and two. That's when you start having the infield errors and whatnot, which we saw in the series against the Royals. But it's gonna be tough. The Red Sox are sliding the wrong way. And I definitely think that as far as the AL West, it's win and get in, and nobody else is gonna dance. So if I had to, if me and Shohei are putting in a parlay, I'm going Orioles, Twins, and the Royals skate in. But I'm hoping that if the Astros are in, we can play a team that's on the schneid walking in.
So, just top fan rivalry sports desk update: Boston Red Sox have lost to the New York Metropolitans, and so now they are officially 5 games back. And so right now it's the wrong time for Boston to go on a losing streak. It's absolute wrong time for them to go on a losing streak.
And it's kind of
Um,
the same thing over in the National League, man. I mean,
but
the the Braves are finding ways to lose games, and the Mets have been on fire, as Bill just said at press time. They have won another game, and I think that brings them tied. If
mm,
I'm not mistaken, they are tied for the wild card berth. So
so going back to the American League real quick, here's how it breaks down. If the season were to end today, the Yankees and the Guardians would get buys.
mhm.
Houston would play Kansas City. Baltimore would play the Twins. And I know we're going to talk a little bit about predictions. If I were going to make a prediction out of that, I would say the first round dogfight is between you guys and Kansas City, because Kansas City got their butts handed to them, and they're going to come out with some passion and some fight. You and I have been around baseball long enough to know that that's kind of what happens. Um, the Baltimore Twins series, I think that probably gets wrapped up in 2 games with Baltimore advancing. Like if you're going to go first round stuff.
Yeah,
So,
no, but you know what? I mean, as daunting as the Royals would sound, a home game, and we've got our pitching staff going. I mean, that's what you're there for, right? So
1000%.
hopefully, we're not talking about that. Hopefully, the Astros slide into that 2 spot.
Guys got to pick up that last series against Cleveland's going to be huge for you guys.
Yeah, no, I mean, a nice 8-game win streak sounds real good right about now. I'm
I'm
just
sure
saying.
it does. I'm sure
I'm
it does.
just saying.
Moving over to the National League, I'm going to surprise you, Dave. I'm going to surprise you with a pick here. So at press time, the San Diego Padres are off today, as are the Diamondbacks. I believe the Diamondbacks are off. Just verify that real quick. But at press time, I know the Padres are off, and yes. Oh no, the Diamondbacks are playing. I'm sorry, they're playing the Giants. So
Yes.
here's how I see this playing. Padres are up 3.5. Diamondbacks are up 2.5. The Braves are even. At right now, the Braves are winning 3-0 against Colorado, but at right now, they're even. Here is my crazy call. Okay, you ready for this? Here is my crazy call. The Dodgers and the Phillies will have a bye. Milwaukee will take that third spot. I don't think you're going to see any movement there. And that's not
Right.
me being a homer. That's
No,
just
no, I agree with the chalk on that one.
okay. Here's what I'm going to surprise you with. I think that the Diamondbacks get seed number 1. I think the Braves get seed number 2. And I think the Mets get seed number 3. And San Diego misses out on the playoffs.
I mean, I spoken like a Dodger fan, I would say, yeah. Hey, I mean, you
It's
would love nothing more than to see the Padres
mm,
fade to black.
mm. I I want the Padres. I want to knock them out in the playoffs because down here the Padre fans are so itchy about the playoffs, and well, we knocked you guys out. I have these conversations all the time, Dave, with people, and listen, they can say, "Hey, if an Astro fan came to me right now and said." Hey, but we made it to the World Series and you guys got knocked out in the first round. You know my response is going to be, you got the same thing we did. No jewelry. There's only one team that got jewelry,
No, no,
right?
no, no. I feel you. That there is something to be said though about a team having another team's number, and that's what
Yeah. Oh,
scares me. When I know the Yankees don't want to see the Astros come into the Bronx. Period.
period.
Say what they want, but they know.
Now,
So
you asked me a few minutes ago which team I'm the most nervous about. That is the Arizona Diamondbacks. I watched them play this weekend. I was there for one game. I watched 3 out of the 4 games. That team is young and they're dumb enough to not know that they're not supposed to be where they're at. And no,
no,
I'm not throwing shade on Arizona.
the
You know
word I
what I'm
use for them is no. They're electric. You know what I'm saying? That vibe that they were riding last year into the series, I think they've continued it, man. I mean, they rode the lightning. They are the best the baseball is fast. You know what I mean? They're always on the move. You know what I'm saying? They live on the base path, smart base running, and they can hit. These kids can hit the ball. I mean, that's definitely a team that would move the needle in the National League. And to be honest, if I had to worry about a team in my own division, Baltimore is scary good, and I think they mirror the thought of you saying that they're not smart enough to know that they're not supposed to be playing this good. You know that they're
well,
not supposed to be there.
and it's no shade against them, but
No, no, they're
I've I've seen young teams and they just don't.
I,
Corbin Carroll's amazing. This new kid Murphy or whatever his name is, he's amazing as well.
and I wouldn't even dare to say that they're overachieving. I mean, they're flat out balling.
Yeah, they're flat out
So,
playing the game. Now, I will say this: at the time of recording, the Chicago Cubs are only 3.5 games out of a wild card spot. What does that mean? Well, they're playing tonight against Pittsburgh, and they're losing right now. They got one more game with Pittsburgh. They got 3 with the Yankees, and then 3 with the Dodgers. After that, listen to this. After that, so they play 2 more tonight and tomorrow. Then they get a day off at Wrigley, and then they play the Yankees for 3 days. Then they go to the Ravine and play 3 games in the Ravine. Now listen to this, Dave. 3 in Colorado, 3 at home against Oakland, 4 against the Nationals. So
Oh,
they literally play 10 games in a row with teams that aren't even going to sniff the playoffs, right? So if they want to make some move, they can do it there. Then they play 3 in Philly, and then they end with the Reds. Here's the Cubs' biggest problem is every single team that's in front of them, they don't play anymore.
yeah.
So they don't have a chance like you
They
guys
have to
will get
chip.
with the Guardians. They don't have
Yeah,
that chance. They got
they
nothing.
got to chip away a half a game at a time.
Hmm.
You know,
Yep.
so
Yep. And three and a
um,
half is not a big deal starting the month. If
yeah.
this were September 20th and you're saying 3.5, I'm going to say probably not.
And a team that historically you can't really count out. The Cardinals are still fighting for their lives. Now their schedule is a bit tougher. The road is a little, they are 5.5 back, but we have seen this team do things in September and sneak their way into the playoffs and into a World Series title. So, baseball is that's why we play all 162, because you know, there's something to say about being the spoiler. You know what I mean? It's bulletin board material for a team that is obviously going fishing early, to be able to just sour the taste of playoffs for a team.
Now, Dave, you want to hear something funny? I'm going to tell you something funny. You ready for this? The Mets won. Phillies are currently losing, which if that stays true, the Mets will be 6.5 back. The Braves will be 5.5 back. Listen to the Mets schedule. Remember, 6.5 back, right? Listen to the Mets schedule. One more with Boston at home, 3 with Cincinnati at home. Pay attention, 6.5 back, right? 3 in Toronto, 3 in Philadelphia. Then they come home and they play the Washington Nationals for 3. Then they have a 4-game homestand against, you got it, the Phillies. Then they follow that up with going to Atlanta, but they end with Milwaukee. So they've got their last 6, 7, 10 games are with either Philly, Atlanta, or Milwaukee, which that's tough. But they still have 7 games against the Philadelphia Phillies,
That could do some damage. You
right?
know,
If you pick up a
you win
game or
both
two
those
more games,
series. You win both those series. You're putting yourself in a prime position if you're the
yeah.
Mets.
So the Mets, I'm not saying that the Phillies can lose their division. I'm not saying that at all. But I am saying that there is a very distinct possibility that the Mets are currently 6.5 back from the Phillies if the Phillies lose tonight. 6.5 back with 7 still to play with them. I don't know, boys and girls. That can get
Hey,
interesting.
we've seen stranger things happen.
Yeah, the for example, the Astros going to 7 ALCSs in a row.
You
Dave's
know,
got a shirt for every single one of
and I'm about to have one for the second Monday.
them. Awesome. All right,
So,
Dave, you want to go off the record. So why don't we just go off the record real quick with everybody?
okay, look here. So at press time, like we mentioned before, it is the last season of the month, and while we're talking a whole lot about forecasts for our teams and how they're going into the playoff race and wild card race and predictions, let's flip it up a little bit and let's talk about the other end of the spectrum. Bill, I propose this question to you.
Okay.
Okay, how much suck could the White Sox suck if the White Sox could suck good? Meaning, all right, there's 23 games left in their schedule.
Uh-huh.
They lose 14 more games. They're at the 120 number. They are now set to go with 126 losses. Okay. That would be the most in their modern era. And for you youngsters out there that not really sure what the modern era is, since 1900. So since 1900 to 2024, 126 losses. Jim McGuire, I'm sorry. You can send the emails to Bill at TopFanRivalry.com. But Bill, do the White Sox have the potential to be the best, worst team of all time?
100%. 100%. They lost tonight
I was gonna
again.
say they lost today, so
They're
that
at 109 games.
make that
109.
13. Okay, so hey, I called it earlier. It couldn't happen to a better team. And for you White Sox fans, I just got to say, '05 World Series. So whatever. Okay, take that. Yeah, man. I'm hoping to see it. Like, and I would say embrace the suck. Like just really have a party when I would have a countdown in the stadium to it. Give away like free Sour Patch Kids, get with them because they're first they're sour and then they're nice. But yeah, no, it's going to be interesting to see if the effort of futility will pay off.
Yeah, it will. And I'm not gonna lie to you, Dave. I think how do I say this? Do I think that they're gonna be the worst team of all time? Yes, I do. I talked to our good friend Dave Schaefer. I've talked to Jim McGuire. Both of those guys feel they're so frustrated by it they can't be frustrated anymore, if that makes any sense.
Yeah,
Right.
no.
And so they just
It's almost getting like old Yeller, where it just what, let's just go out back and get this taken care of. Just
and it and so to me, it's it's sad. It's sad. I mean, I've seen pictures of in the stadium. I saw a picture recently in the stadium where they were lucky if they had 1,000 people in that stadium. And that's
with
tough.
staff.
Yeah, and that's tough. And so it breaks my heart. Um
I mean, there's
it
something like 4-38 since the All-Star break. I mean, that is wow. Like,
yeah.
and it's not even like football where the worst team is guaranteed the first pick in the draft, right? I mean, it doesn't work like that, does it? In baseball, it's more of a
No,
lottery.
it
Yeah,
doesn't. It's still a lottery.
yeah. So
And so
it's
and
not
and
even
I'm
like you're tanking to get anything from it. It's just it's and sadly for the fans, because this is Top Fan, and I poke fun, but I've been on the wrong end of 100 loss season, and it's not fun. It takes the luster out of your team a little bit. But I think it's just the subsidiary of ownership not potentially living up to their best their best ability, all the way down. And it starts with the owner and then it trickles down to baseball operations, GM, and ultimately play on the field. And just like
so
winning is contagious, losing is contagious, and players get in funks, and players are counting the days until the end of the season.
I and so to be honest with you, Dave, um, it is it is the owner of that team made his fame with the Chicago Bulls. He also owned the Chicago Bulls during
Yeah,
the Michael
Reinsdorf.
Jordan
Yeah.
era. So everybody's still realizing that he can do it, yada yada yada. Right. And so we'll see how it all plays
The
itself.
problem is that the last winner Reinsdorf had was the '97 Chicago Bulls. So, you know, obviously the formula isn't working. And before the fan base gets totally toxic, I mean, Oakland is a different story, but you don't want to start seeing sell T-shirts up in the stands.
No, you do not. You do not. Dave, I have to tell you, I don't know. It's kind of the worst. I've never seen anything like this. Where just every night, and they're not losing, Dave. They're getting annihilated. They lost today 9-0, I believe.
Yeah, no,
I mean, they're not, it's not like where it's close. It's
yeah,
not
no.
even close.
It sometimes you want the mercy rule to be in effect, like Little League at some point, just
Preach,
because
preach.
it's demoralizing too, especially because right now you've got a lot of young players that are getting their first shots in the league, you
Mhm.
know, and to be honest, a lot of these kids aren't ready anyway when they come into good situations. And coming into a bad situation, let's say you're a starting pitcher, and you're doing everything to hold it together, and you've got just errors and you're holding a team to a couple of hits and you can't score no runs, or it's just sad.
Preach,
But
preach it.
I don't want to end it on a sour base. I was digging around the other thing, and I wanted to check this out. It's show and tell. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, at one time, it was a great thing. You would go to the box office, which was a little little room outside the stadium, and you would buy your tickets there. You would talk to the lady. She'd show you the little chart about what purple seat, how much your purple seat's going to cost, and they would give you a ticket. I found an old ticket. This was from 2015. This was a losing season against the Mariners. Section 222. These are club seats, though. So you know what? That shows how cheap they were back when we were losing. Because I was able to sit in the club seat. But no, yeah, I love seeing old stuff like this, man. So when I found this, it's definitely going to go into the glass case. Bill, do you remember tickets?
Yep, I do. I do.
I
In
miss
fact,
them.
I
I
I
miss
hate
them.
the fact that we don't have them anymore
Yeah.
because I collected them.
Look, one of the so and not to but when I lost my father and going through some of his things, I found a pair of his old Bushnell binoculars. Okay, and Bushnell was the thing to be if you were binoculars back in the day. And so I opened them up and I found tickets from the Astrodome in there. And it just took me back instantaneously, you know. And that's what I hate. I mean, and I'm even old school than that, like your old concert tickets, like I found a whole plethora of just hard tickets in the hand, man. I mean, why do we have to get so advanced? You know, I get it. Everybody wants to be quick now, and you use your phone and this and that. But I wish that you could still, hey, I got tickets. Could you mail me tickets for whatever? But I get the
Right.
logistics of that. Anyway, it's been a fun show, boys and girls. I thank you for tuning in to another episode of Can of Corn. If you're checking us out on YouTube, do me a favor, mash that subscribe button. It really helps us out. Um, if you'd like to, slide over to TopFanRivalry.com. Don't forget to get your locker room access. It is less than $25 a year if you use the discount code Big Dave. All right. You get all kinds of content. You get first looks at custom t-shirts. We've got things going on for members that are exclusive to members only, including and not only Fan Fest, guys' night out, girls' night out. We've got softball games coming up. Mentioning that, we've got a softball game in Houston. You can sign up right now on topfanrivalry.com. Space is limited. Spots are filling up. If you want to get in now. Your small not donation, your small entry fee also gets you a couple of perks to go along with it. So sign up, use the discount code Big Dave. If you want to play on Big Dave's team, you can choose that option as well. Look here, another great thing we're getting into. It is September, so you know what that means. Dun 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 dun. It is football season, and I'm in the great state of Texas, so that means football is right up there next to life, really. Okay. So, in honor of that, I broke out my Texans gear. Go Texans, my boy CJ Stroud. We about to put the league on notice this year. So stay tuned for some TFL gridiron action with Baseball Bill. Actually, we can't call him. We're gonna call him Backfield Bill and Big Dave coming soon with some football content. So if you got any ideas or you want to come on the show and talk football with us, we'll have to pivot. Can of corn can turn into cloudy with a chance of deep balls or something. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But nevertheless, happy baseball. I hope your team is in the playoff race. If not, I hope it's quick and painless and you can get on to whatever you can and get ready for football season. Bill, thank you as always for being here. I couldn't do it without you. I appreciate everything you do, as well as Top Fan, as well as the First Lady of Top Fan. Shout out to Amber there. And of course, the boss lady. Everybody knows that HR runs the show. Meg, you my girl, always forever. But no, thanks again. This has been Can of Corn. I am Big Dave. That is Baseball Bill. And as always, live the life you love and love the life you live. Go Stros, baby.
Talk to you later, Dave.